Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going fabulous. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I wanted to share with you card number 18 of my Countdown to Christmas series. Today we're going to create a stocking card. We're going to be using a die set from Sunny Studio. This die set is called Santa Stocking. It is an A2 size stocking, so it is actually kind of versatile because you could use this as a Christmas tag, a very large Christmas tag, but you can also create a card front with it because it's perfect and will fit in the A2 size envelope. So this is what your die set looks like. You have the stocking base, and then there is 3 separate pieces. One for the cuff of the stocking, one for the heel, one for the toe, and then you get some accent pieces like bows and holly. Candy cane's neat too because you get the little diagonal stripe pieces, and you can cut those out with different colors of cardstock and inlay those on the main candy cane piece, which is really nice. So I'm just going to separate the dies that I'm going to use for right now. I have the cuff and then also the main stocking piece. I'm going to die cut out the stocking twice with my white cardstock. I'm using my Cougar digital cardstock, which is a very heavyweight cardstock, but it's what I use for my card bases. And so I'm going to die cut out 2 of these, and then I'm also going to take some hillside border dies from Fawn. These have a stitch detail on them, and with the leftover piece on this panel, I'm going to go ahead and create 2 hillsides, large enough to where I can put it on the very bottom of my stocking. I'll just tape these down and run these through my die cut machine, and we are good to go. We'll put these back. Everything that I'll use today, guys, will be listed below in case you want to check it out. But I'm not too worried about the ends of my hillside because we're going to die cut those out with the stocking piece. This way we have the shape of the stocking with our with our snowbank hillside border here. So these are our 2 stockings. Pretty good size. I'm going to layer both of them together. We're going to tape them together to create our card base. You can see it fits an A2 size panel, so if you wanted to put it on an A2 size panel and then put it on a card base, you could. I think we're going to make a card in the shape of a stocking. So to do that, it's very easy. I'm going to take my stocking, I'm going to actually place it sideways here, put it on my scoreboard, and right at the cuff line, I'm going to go ahead and score it. Score it a couple times. My cardstock's pretty thick. I need to break those fibers. I'm going to fold it over, and then all you do is flip it over, and on the cuff part of the stocking you add adhesive and line it up, and then you have a stocking that opens and closes. Pretty easy. You could actually go a little bit higher if you wanted more room for a sentiment, but I think it's going to be easier to score the cuff mark because you're going to add that extra piece, and I want a dimension, so I'm going to actually pop up the cuff, so scoring just below it is going to make it a lot easier. I'm going to take my stocking die and die cut out 2 of my snowbanks. This way I have the toe and the heel, and I can layer them on my stocking, and it just flows beautifully. Basically it's going to look like this, but I do want to add a little bit of color in my background. I'm not worried about below the snowbanks, and I'm not worried about above the cuff marks. I'm going to bring in some broken china distress oxide ink, and then my blending brush. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue to my background and highlight. Now if you were to add water droplets to this, my cardstock, actually it doesn't make a difference. All it does is saturate the paper. The best cardstock to do this with is Bristol Smooth. You can really see the oxidation when you add water droplets. But I'm happy with just a little bit of blue shading. We're going to doctor it up later on with some crafty tools. Once I'm happy with this, we are going to go ahead and do a little bit more stamping. This time we're bringing in some perfect plaid background stamps. I've used these before. If I can find the video, I'll link it at the end. But this is a nice plaid set. It's from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and you get 2 in a set. And one of them is this nice little plaid print, and then there's another one that has diagonal stripes. So we're going to actually stamp both of them. I'm going to be using my Honeysuckle ink. This is from Concord 9th. It's a real pretty pinky corally color, And so we're going to ink up our background stamp and stamp on some cardstock. I don't need that much because I'm just going to die cut out the cuff of my stocking and then the toe and the heel. I missed a spot, so I'm going to re-ink this up. And you can see how pretty this is, the detail in there. These are nice background stamps to have in your stash. Okay, I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to bring in the second background stamp in this set, and then we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more stamping. Just bring it back. Originally I was just going to go with this print, but I had the other one next to me, and I thought, you know, let's pick today. Usually, you know, you have something in mind, and I thought, well, this wouldn't hurt to stamp another background just to see if it will flow right. Okay, we'll grab our second stamp. This is what it looks like, the diagonal stripes. And then I'll just place some white cardstock in here and use the same honeysuckle ink and create a background with this one too. And I'm kind of glad I did this because even though they're both beautiful, I think the diagonal stripe is going to look better for my project today. So we're going to actually go with our diagonal stripe one. We'll save that for another card. Okay, I'm going to take the cuff of our stocking, and then I'm also going to take our heel and the nice thing about these, the heel and the cuff and the toe all have stitch detail. I don't know what it is about stitch detail, but I just like it. We're going to add those to our panel, run this through our die cutting machine. I'm kind of figuring out which is the toe, which is the heel, and then I can just kind of place the print the way I want it here. Okay, I have this leftover piece. I thought we'd bring in the paper trimmer. I'm going to trim down a 1/2 inch strip. I wanted my stocking to have a little a hanging piece, and so this is going to work out perfectly for that. Okay, we have our decorated elements. We're going to add our hillside borders, taking our most solid piece first. We're going to add this to the very bottom of our stocking. Once we have this adhered, I did die cut out the stocking cuff with fun foam. I thought this would be easier and it would look cleaner since this is a stocking shaped card. The fun foam that I have is adhesive backed. So I just remove the release paper off of the back and then I can adhere it. All I have to do is basically tape one side. Next, with this piece, we're going to fold it in half. I just used my my scoring tool and folded it in half. That's going to be our little hanging tool. This is where it made me a really cute stocking gift tag. I think that would be adorable. Now we need to decorate a little scene, and I am bringing in oldie but goodie stamp set. I'm giving my older stamps in my stash some love. This is an older set from Simon Says Stamp, and it's called Merry and Bright. Love the little reindeer in here. It's like a little baby Rudolph, and then the Christmas tree too is so playful. There's candy canes and presents, snowflakes. I believe the Simon shop still has this little set. I'll link it down below if you guys are interested. But I'm going to stamp the Christmas tree, and then I'm going to grab my little baby reindeer. We're going to stamp him as well. And then I need some little accent pieces for my snowbank, so we're going to stamp the candy cane. Just cleaning as we go. So I have my little chamois here. We're wiping off our images, putting it back on our stamp. Next, we'll stamp, I think 3 candy canes is going to work out great. I always like to do things in trios. Odd numbers are nice. And then there's 2 presents, and actually there's 3 presents. We're just going to take the 2 largest, and then I'm going to stamp them. I'm stamping with memento ink because we're going to color in our images with Copic markers. Now I did skip the coloring, save a little bit of time, but I know you guys like to know the colors that I do use. So I'll list them over on my blog. If you want to check it out, I'll list the colors that I use for my images over there. But I'm going to be using some blues and teals and some browns for little baby Rudolph, and some pinks too. Kind of picked a pink that would kind of match my honeysuckle ink pad plaid background there. So we're good to go. I think there is coordinating dies. I don't have them. I'm going to use my scissors and fussy cut around each image, leaving a little bit of a white border. And then we are ready to create a cute little stocking scene. I'm going to pop up my second hillside bank, my snow bank here, with some foam squares. And I'm going to just add a few behind here, put this in the very bottom. So we have a little dimension. This way we can do a little tucking. And after we have our second little snowbank added, we can create a scene. We're going to remove the release paper off of our cuff. And before we adhere it, we're going to add our little hanging gadget here. I'm going to trim it down a little bit more. I think it's just a little bit too wide. Now, of course, if you add this, you won't be able to fit it in an A2 size envelope unless you fold it over. But you could use it as your stocking string. Just thread some ribbon through there and add it to your present. But there we go. You can see how the fun foam with that cuff makes it look a lot cleaner. Okay, we're going to add our toe. The toe, I didn't add any foam adhesive behind. We're just using tape. And I'm going to add the heel too. The heel, I had to add a little bit of foam adhesive on the upper portion. This way everything's nice and flush. Now I added my image. My Christmas tree, I just can't get it to fit. Maybe it's just too large for my scene here. So I'm going to just skip my Christmas tree and just stick with the presents and candy canes. And I think that looks really cute. Okay, now we're going to take a white gel pen. I want to add some snowdrops in the back. I'm going to just dot them with my white gel pen. I found this to be easier. Sometimes when you do this though, the oxide ink does grab that blue color, so your snowdrops turn blue, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and add some Nuvo crystal drops, and this is simply white. I'm going to add some snowballs to the background as well. And I love the 3D effect that this gives. Now after I have this done, I thought we'd bring in some sparkle too. We got lots of bells and whistles for this card. I'm using my diamond Stickles, and I'm just adding it to some of the lines on my plaid stripes. So my plaid background has some sparkle. And then after we have that done, I'm going to bring in some gold Stickles, and we're going to go over reindeer's bell collar. Before we do that, I'm going to do a little adjusting. Sometimes, you know, a scene just doesn't flow right, so I'm very carefully removing the candy canes and the presents that's basically on the plaid area. I think we should stick that in the snowbank. I think it's just going to look a lot nicer. I didn't like it on the toe of my scene. So after we did this, I didn't smear anything, which was unbelievable actually, because usually when I try to rearrange with all those glitter glues, I would make a mess, but I did good. I'm going to just fill in the area that my present was covering, so my sparkle lines are continuous here, and then we'll grab our little gold Stickles and add that to our reindeer's bells. Now after we have this done, I think he looks so cute. I think a scene on the stocking is adorable. Love these. When the kids were little, I had made stockings, and I used felt and created these little images on their stockings, which was really cute. Okay, so it'll fit in an A2 size envelope. You just have to fold that flap over for it to fit. But I'm going to create a tag with mine, and so we're going to doctor up our little hanging piece here. So I have some whipped cream twine and some little silver jingle bells, guys. I'm going to add 3 of them to the twine. I just thread them through. These I'm calling them jingle bells, but they don't jingle. They're just little silver bells that lost their jingle. But I'm going to add 3 through my twine, and then what I'd like to do is tie a knot. When you tie a knot with them on there, it just creates a 3-bell cluster, and that's what I like. And then after I tie my knot, I'll tie a bow with it. And then all you have to do is add some glue dots behind your bells, and then you can stick it wherever you want. I think it's just a cute little accent piece. I had a real hard time finding these bells, but I think I found them. I'll list them down below. I think there's gold and silver, and I found them for like $1 a package, which was really nice. Okay, I'm going to add my little bells right at the top here, and I think that was just what my little stocking needed. My stocking card. We'll trim our ribbon or our twine just a little bit more. But that's my project today, guys. Everything's listed below, and again, if you want to know the colors that I used for coloring my images, I'll list them over on my blog. Head on over there. My blog link's down below. Have a fabulous day. Thanks for joining me for card number 18. Stay tuned for card number 19. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.